Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Autism 411, the podcast where we share information, experiences, resources, and real conversation about autism. I'm your host, Dr. Tamara Moody, and today's episode is especially meaningful to me because I'm going to take you inside the vision of our new South Florida Autism Center. And I'm happy to say that this new center is going to be called the Dr. Tamara Moody Autism Center. I'm so excited. Today, we're going to be talking about why we decided to build this center, how the vision first manifested, everything the center will offer, and what it will mean for our individual with autism and their families throughout South Florida. This is not simply a new building. It is a manifestation of a dream that has been growing for many years. When we opened South Florida Autism Charter School in 2009, our goal was to create a school where students with autism, particularly those with significant support needs, could receive the individualized education, attention, and support they deserve. Over the years, we have watched our student grow. I just look back at some of these kids and remember that I had them at 3 years old and they're like 25 years old now. And I don't even look a day past 25. So I'm not even sure why, why they've gotten so old over the years. And for me, it's like, when you think about what's going to happen to them, how their future is going to be, it's so important that we have places like South Florida Autism Center. So our student grow older. Our family repeat asking me over the years, like, Dr. Moody, what will happen to my child after the school ends? And, one of my board members sat with me one day and years ago, and he goes, we really have to think about what's going to happen because, he's getting older. And in Florida, there's really not much that we can do for our kids. And I said to him, don't worry, I got this. For more than 30 years, I've had the privilege of working with individuals with autism and their families. When we opened South Florida Autism Charter School in 2009, our goal was to create a school where students with autism, particularly those with significant support needs, could receive the individualized education, attention, and support they deserve. Over the years, we've watched our students grow. We've celebrated their progress, their graduation, their milestones, and that other people may consider small, but we know we can represent years of hard work. Our kids are making progress. However, as our students grow, our families repeatedly ask me one very important question. What will happen to my child after school ends? In Florida, student with disability remains in public school system through 22 years old, but autism does not stop at 22. The need for structure, meaningful activities, employment, training, recreation, therapy, relationships, and I must say it again, relationship, healthcare support, and community inclusion does not disappear because our students have a birthday and they no longer can be a part of our school. Too many families reach this stage and discover that the services that depend on are suddenly reduced or no longer available. This period sometimes is called the service cliff. And for many families, it's the most frightening part of having a child with autism. Parents begin wondering, where will my child go during the day? Will my child have friends? Will there be a meaningful activity? Will my child continue learning? Who will understand my child communication, behavior, medical needs, sensory and personal care needs? What will happen when I'm no longer able to care for my child? Those are many obstacles and questions that families have asked me over the years. They're a real, deeply personal question that keeps parents up at night, and it keeps me up too. That is why we decided that it's our responsibility to make sure that we create this South Florida Autism Center. For me, 22 years old is just another milestone, but it's not the end for our kids. And I wanted to make sure that we created, and I am so blessed that I have a board that understand the vision for South Florida Autism Center as it appears. So it manifested when we had our first 22 and older, what was going to happen. And that's when we created South Florida Autism Center. So let me tell you about what is going to be in our South Florida Autism Center. We're going to have respite, therapy, childcare, recreation, adult services, and it's going to be in one safe building. And guess what? If your child has been with me and they're 22 and they've had their friends all these years, they're going to be going there too. We have an ADT program that's a part of that program right now. We have about 70 adults in that program. And I'm so excited about everything that that program offers. Another time, another podcast, I'll get more deep into that. But for now, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the center. We wanted to have a childcare program because our parents are driving from as far north as Deerfield Beach, as far south as Homestead. Can you imagine being able to drop off your baby and drop off your child with autism? I also have a very young staff, and for me, how do I keep my staff? Finding a nurturing and creating a nurturing environment that they know that their children will be able to be a part of. Our child care program is not just for children with autism, it's for all children. Same thing with therapy. We have parents who pick up their kids really early from school some days just to take them to therapy. They no longer have to do that because we've already started our therapy program where we have OT and we have speech and ABA. I'm also going to have respite. You know, I've had parents over the years that have like said to me, I'm sorry, Dr. Moody, my son is not ready to sleep out. But I've been encouraging our parents, no, you can't make the first time your child sleeps out of the house is when you're no longer around. So we've created this 3-bedroom student apartment that we're going to be able to give our students an opportunity to sleep out with people that they know and care about, staff members that they've known for years, and the parents can rest assured that they're going to be with people who will be protecting them. But most importantly, they'll be with friends as well, people that they've grown up with. I'm excited about the respite program because it's not only supposed to be used just because, it should be used because you may have an emergency. Because again, you don't want the first time your child is sleeping out of the house is when you're no longer around. For me, it's like it's stepping stones for that permanent assisted living. We did not want to build a place where individuals simply came to pass the time. We wanted to build a community where they could continue learning, develop skills, exercise, working, socializing, creating, and living meaningful life. And that's part of the reason why we also have the gym. We're going to have a gym. Yes, we're going to have a gym. And in this 3-story building, every area was thoughtfully created and designed with the needs of people we serve. We are considering accessibility, safety, sensory needs, movement, communication, independency, the dignity of every individual who enters the building. The center will serve children, adults, and their family. It will bring multiple services and opportunities together under one roof so many families are not constantly traveling from one location to another trying to find these services. Just on the first floor, we're going to have therapy, we're going to have wellness, we're going to have movement, we're going to have recreation and social interaction. It will include fully equipped gym where individual can participate in structured fitness program. Physical health is important for everyone, but individuals with autism do not always have access to a gym or exercise program that understand and accommodate their sensory needs, behavioral needs, communication, and support their needs. Our gym will be a place where participant can develop strength, improve coordination, remain active, build healthy habits in the environment designed to support them. But more than anything else, our child can scream, and that's okay. They can have a behavior, and that's okay because everyone else there as well understand that sometimes we get frustrated. The first floor will also include a dance room. Yes, we're going to be teaching dance. It also will include therapy space where individual can receive their services that support their development, communication, regulation, and independency. We will have a dance room. Again, I'm all excited about the dance because I'm a dance mom. For years, my children dance. And for me, I'm so excited to be able to place this within our program. Movement is good. There will also be coffee and juice area. I'm especially excited about this because our adults from our ADT program will be working this cafeteria that we have. And I'm like so excited about it because we will also be juicing. We'll also be selling Cuban toast and coffee and anything you can think of that you could possibly want to drink healthy and some of not healthy. We will be having it on our first floor. Our second floor will have our daycare. And I promise you, the minute you see this daycare, it's going to be like, why didn't I have that when I was growing up? There was no thing. I mean, we turned every stone. We thought about what would be best for our children with autism as well as their sibling. The second floor will also have where my office will be, the leadership section where you will be able to get tours of all of our building, our school, and our center, and when we have the villages. The third floor, the last part of this one-stop shop. And yes, let me talk to you a little bit about this one-stop shop. I'm not sure if I can legally say this, but I'll say it because I'm complimenting the Y. For everything that the Y have, I wanted to have it for our kids too. I wanted to have a place that our student can go and feel safe, that they'll be taken care of, that we are not only working on just physical, we're working on mental and just emotion, everything that you can think of. The adult day training program will also be located on the third floor. And I can go on and on about that program, but I would really love to do just one podcast just talking about that wonderful program where we have 10-to-1 ratio, 5-to-1 ratio, 3-to-1 ratio, and 1-to-1 ratio. And when I do that podcast, I would love to have someone from that program who can join and talk to you all more about in depth about what we do there. I am just so excited about all the other things that we're going to be doing there as well, because we are going to be able to talk about the heart press, the loads of heart, and all the different programs that we're going to have there. But I can't do that without having great people. So as we prepare to open and expand these services, we also be looking for compassionate, dependable, dedicated people who want to work with this population. We will need individuals for many different background and area of expertise, education, therapists, professional, behavioral professional. Oh God, we will need individuals from many different background areas of expertise: education, therapists, behavioral, childcare, direct support, fitness, recreation, nurses, healthcare, administration team, drivers, job coaches, and people who simply have a genuine heart for serving others. Experience is important, but so are patience, compassion, consistency, respect, and the willingness to learn. This work is not always easy, but it is the most meaningful work that you could possibly have. You have the opportunity to become a part of someone's progress and to help a family feel supported and hopeful. If you're looking for more than just a job, if you're looking for purpose, please reach out to us. You can always visit us at www.sfacs.org for the school or www.sfa-center.org. And you can always call us at 305-823-2700. We're always looking for community partners, business, donors, volunteers, and professionals who believe in the vision and want to help us bring it fully to life. When I look at the center, I do not simply see 3 floors, offices, classroom, therapy rooms, or equipment. I see possibilities. I see young child receiving support at an early age. I see parents finding a community that understands. I see adults learning to prepare meals, complete work assignment, fold laundry, create a product, exercise, or communicate a choice. I see friendship developing. I see caregivers receiving the opportunity to rest. I see individuals who too often been underestimated being given a chance to show the world what they can do. Most of all, I see a promise that our support will not end at graduation and that our families will not be forgotten when their child becomes an adult. The center is a manifestation of years of faith, advocacy, hard work, partnership, and love. It is more than a building. It is a place of purpose. It is a place of opportunity. It's a place of belonging. And it's a place where individuals with autism and their family can continue to learn, grow, shine throughout every stage of life. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Dr. Moody Autism 411. Please share this episode with family, professional, business owners, community leaders who may want to become a part of our mission. One team, one mission, one community. Until next time, remember, together we shine.